In a small town called Sunnyvale, there lived a boy named Jack. Jack was 10 years old. He liked playing soccer and reading adventure books. But English was hard for him. The words were new, the sentences were long. He felt shy when he spoke English. His teacher, Ms. Rose, wanted to help. One day, Ms. Rose stood in front of the class. "Today," she said, "we will learn to think in English. This will make English fun and easy." Jack was curious. "Think in English? How?" he asked. Ms. Rose smiled. "It's called critical thinking. It means you ask questions. You don't believe everything you read or hear. You think carefully." Jack frowned. "But my English is not good. Can I do it?" "Yes," Ms. Rose said. "You don't need perfect English. You just need to be curious. Let's try." She wrote on the board, "The moon is green." "Is this true?" she asked. The class laughed. "No," said a girl named Lily. "The moon is not green. It's silver." "Good," Ms. Rose said. "You thought about it. You didn't just agree. You asked, 'Is it true?' That's critical thinking." Jack raised his hand. "Why does the book say the moon is green?" "Great question," Ms. Rose said. "Maybe it's a story. Maybe it's a mistake. Asking why helps you learn." Jack went home excited. He opened his English book. It said, "Cats are lazy." Jack stopped. He thought about his cat, Whiskers. Whiskers ran and played all day. "Not all cats are lazy," Jack said. He felt smart. He didn't just read the words, he questioned them. The next day, Jack told Ms. Rose, "The book says cats are lazy, but my cat isn't. Why do they say that?" Ms. Rose clapped. "Wonderful, Jack. You're thinking critically. The book might mean some cats rest a lot, but you asked why. That's how you learn." Jack smiled. He didn't need big words. He just needed questions. That evening, Jack watched a cartoon in English. A character said, "I'm the best singer." Jack paused the video. He thought, "Is she the best? What about other singers?" He wrote in his notebook, "Why does she say she's the best? Are there better singers?" At school, Jack showed his notebook to Ms. Rose. "Amazing," she said. "You're like a detective. You ask questions to understand more." Jack started to love English. It wasn't just words, it was thinking. He asked questions every day. When he read a story, he asked, "Why did the hero do that?" When he heard a song, he asked, "What does this word mean?" One day, Jack's friend, Tom, said, "English is too hard. I don't like it." Jack remembered Miss Rose's advice. He asked, "Why is it hard? What's the problem?" Tom sighed. "The words are confusing. I forget them." Jack nodded. Let's make it fun. We can ask questions about words, like, why do we say happy and not glad? Tom grinned. That sounds good. Jack and Tom made a game called Question Time. They picked one English sentence each day. They asked questions about it. For example, they read, "The sun is hot." They asked, "Why is the sun hot? Is it always hot? What about at night?" The game made English exciting. They didn't just memorize. They thought. They talked. They laughed. One day, Ms. Rose gave a new task. "Write a short story in English," she said. "But think critically. Ask, why does your story happen? Who are your characters?" Jack was nervous. Writing was hard. But he thought, what do I want to write? Why? He decided to write about a dog named Max. Max wanted to find a treasure. Jack asked, "Why does Max want treasure? Is he brave?" His story began. Max is a small dog. He lives in a park. He wants to find a treasure. He asks, "Is it safe? Can I do it?" Jack read his story to the class. Everyone clapped. Ms. Rose said, "Jack, your story is great. You thought about Max's goal. You asked questions. That's critical thinking." Jack felt proud. English wasn't scary anymore. He could think in English. One day, Jack saw a poster. English Speech Contest. Share your ideas. Jack was scared. A contest? In English? But he thought, why am I scared? I can ask questions. I can try. He joined the contest. The topic was, what is a good friend? Jack stood on the stage. He took a deep breath. He said, "A good friend asks questions. They listen. They think, why do you feel that way? That makes a friend special." The crowd cheered. Jack didn't win, but he was happy. He spoke in English. He shared ideas. He felt strong. Miss Rose said, "Jack, you were fantastic. You thought critically. You made people think." Jack smiled. "I just ask questions." "Exactly," Miss Rose said. "Keep asking. That's how you grow." Jack kept practicing. He read English comics. He asked, why does the villain act bad? He watched English videos. He thought, why did they use that word? He talked to Tom and asked, what do you think? One day, Jack and Tom found a book in the library. It said, "Clouds are soft." Jack paused. "Are clouds soft?" he asked. "No," Tom said. "They look soft, but they're water." "Why do they say that?" Jack thought. Maybe it's how they look. Let's ask Miss Rose. Miss Rose explained, clouds look soft, but they're not. Good question. Jack and Tom felt smart. They started a question club at school. Other kids joined. They read sentences like, "School is fun." They asked, "Is school always fun? Why?" The club made English exciting. One evening, Jack watched a movie with his family. A character said, "Money is everything." Jack paused the movie. "Is that true?" he asked his mum. His mum thought, "Money buys things, but love and friends are more important." Jack wrote in his notebook, "Why do people say money is everything? What else matters?" He learnt something new. At school, Miss Rose gave another task. "Listen to an English song," she said. "Ask, what's the message?" Jack picked a song. It said, "Follow your heart." He thought, "Why follow your heart? What does that mean?" He wrote, "The song says, follow your heart. But is it always good to do that? What if your heart is wrong?" He shared his questions with the class. Miss Rose said, "Jack, you're thinking deeply. That's critical thinking." Jack also tried writing. He wrote a poem. "The sea is wide. It holds many secrets. Why is it so big?" Miss Rose loved it. "You asked a big question," she said. "That's what poets do." Jack started talking to himself in English. Every night he asked, "What did I learn today? What can I do better?" It felt strange at first, but soon it was easy. He was thinking in English. One day, the question club read, "Winter is the best season." Jack asked, "Why is winter the best? I like summer more." Tom said, "Winter has snow, but summer has sun. Why choose one?" They laughed and learned. Jack's class made an English newsletter. Jack wrote an article, "Why do we learn?" He asked friends, "Why do you learn? What's fun about it?" He wrote their answers. The newsletter was popular. At the end of the year, Ms. Rose said, "You're all critical thinkers now. You ask questions. You don't just accept things. You're smart in English." Jack was proud. English was fun. He didn't need to be perfect. He just needed to ask questions. He read, wrote, listened, and spoke in English. Every question made him better. One sunny day, Jack sat with Tom under a tree. They read a book. It said, "Life is a puzzle." Jack asked, "Is life a puzzle? Why?" Tom smiled. "It's a puzzle if we ask questions, like, why are we here? What's next?" Jack laughed. "Good question." They kept reading. They kept asking. English was an adventure. Jack and Tom became critical thinkers. They asked questions about everything. And with every question, they grew smarter, braver, and better at English.